Hello Wargamers, Invasive Ramnus here with a video on my second Riptide assembly and magnetization. Basically, this video is just a compilation of a couple short videos that I did over the process of assembling this guy today, and kind of bring you through the process of how I did it. Might be useful for you if you have not assembled a Riptide yet and or have not magnetized one. Turned out pretty well in my opinion, so I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you Alright, so the first thing I've done is assembled the leg portions as best I can without having to glue any of the posable parts together, as well as the waist area, I guess thorax perhaps. For, I guess this one, yeah. So here, if you leave the top bit unglued, you can pivot it and still have it glued in. That will be helpful in the next step of posing the model. Okay, I have now posed the legs of the Riptide. I did that using just small amounts of green stuff, which I forgot is a terrible idea. The main idea is that you want to have something to hold the model together and pose it before you glue it. Just, measure twice, cut once type thing. But the bad thing about green stuff is that it is really sticky, and it is kind of a pain to get back off the plastic. And you can leave it there, but then it's blocking the glue. So I had to rip things apart a few times to try to get all the green stuff off, and that really was quite annoying for getting this guy posed so far. So probably for the rest of the model I won't be using green stuff to pose it, but yeah, so far so good, and we'll see how it goes. I did not glue it to the base because I think that's probably a good idea, to be able to kind of center the whole model over the center of the base versus just the legs. The way I'm having him posed, he'll probably have a gun out this way, and then kind of his arms more held close to him on this side. So I want to be able to center the whole model, just like with my original Riptide. If you look kind of down below, you can see that as a whole he's centered. But if you were to look at just his legs, they'd be a little bit off-center. Yep, onto the body. Alright, so I'm ready to start the first steps of magnetization. I have the torso pretty much all assembled without the head. I left the head off in order to be able to more appropriately orient it once the model is fully posed. I have these 1/8 inch magnets, and then some probably too big, a little bit of overkill magnets that I think are like 7/16 inch or something like that. But before I started, I took a previously existing magnetization and lined it up with the magnets, so I know which ones, the polarity of the magnets ahead of time. That way, the magnets on this model are compatible with magnets on other models and things of that nature. So I have the torso all set, and then I have all my arm bits set out, and my ion accelerator, which will be my first big gun that I magnetize. That's the more important one to me, so I'll magnetize that one first, and then do the secondary systems once I get that done. So the plan is put a small magnet in here, big magnet in there, big magnet on the bottom of the arm, and then a small one on top, and then a small one on either side of this arm, which will hold the shield, and then magnet on either jetpack. So that's the plan, and onward. Alright, you can see the size of the hole on this guy right now. It is pretty large, and it looks really crude, but it should work just fine. We'll clean it up in a minute. But the magnet should just sit right in there. And see how it's just large enough to accommodate the magnet. I'll put it in there with some green stuff and super glue, and it should smooth out nicely. And then I can do the same thing to the gun right here in that blackened area, and the two should fit together nicely. Alright, so you can see the mess I've made of my dinner table. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that, but you can see that the arm has the dots facing outward, which I did when I oriented everything with that earlier weapon. And the on accelerator does not have a dot, so that's how I know that the magnets are in the right way. Let's see. Basically, these magnets, the reason why I did such a large magnet was because I wanted it to be able to support the weight of the larger weapon. And I think I'm not going to have a problem with that because if you look, this arm is sticking to the magnet on the other side of my hand. So I think we're probably set, and if anything, we're going to have problems with the magnets ripping each other out. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I won't be able to tell until tomorrow after the green stuff has dried. I have all my magnets in. I have 3 in the gun arm, so the big one and 2 small ones. One for the crossbar here, which has 1 magnet in the top that goes onto the arm. I had to switch the polarity of the central magnet here because it was being repelled by the other magnets with the polarity consistent with everything else. So the bar will have an opposite polarity set up than weaponry. On the shield arm, I have 2 magnets, one on each side. Big gun, I have 1 magnet to hook up with the arm, and then on the torso, I have a magnet on each shoulder, right there. So I glued in the shield arm, and it's starting to take shape. You can kind of see how he's going to end up looking once he's finished. The next steps are just kind of wrapping things up, putting this the gun arm on and the head, and then magnetizing the support system. So I started assembling the heavy burst cannon, which looks like it's going to need some time to dry here. And other than that, we're on our way to being done. Okay, we're just about finished, but I realized a couple things. A, I forgot to put on the shoulder pad there, so I'm going to have to try to figure that out. And B, it's really heavy. Like I'm holding him down like this, so you can see if I were to let go, he would fall over. So I'm a little concerned about that, but we will have to really glue him down to make that work. So, alright, next step is just magnetizing the support weapons and support systems, and put them on the base, and he'll be good to go. So I went to go put some green stuff on the shoulder pad here to kind of clean it up a little bit, and I guess the weight was too much on there, so the ankles started to give way a little bit. It's always the ankles, always. So I thought I wouldn't have to have that problem anymore because I'm not dealing with broadsides and crisis suits, but apparently I am. So probably done for a little while today, working on this guy until those ankles dry up and are more secure. Alright, so here we go, the finished product, more or less. Fully magnetized main weapon system, fully magnetized support systems, customized pose. I think he turned out pretty good. The only issue is going to be if he can stay together, because if you look top down, his center of gravity is probably right around here, and then I have this arm with that heavy magnet sticking out the side. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I might have raised this up a little bit higher so it wasn't pointing down as far, but overall I think it turned out pretty good, and pretty happy with it. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And of course, your subscriptions are always welcome. So, thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.